Open houses suck. That's what we hear people say. And I know what Kyle's going to say. If I told him as an agent, if I said open houses suck, he'd go, you suck. I know this. We've done this enough. And we're in right now, even though it doesn't matter for this particular podcast, but we're in a tough market for our sellers. And agents on our team are like, well, I've done an open house and I got 2 people show up. I've done an open house, or I'm going to do an open house. And they don't put their all into it. And what we found, and it's very easy to A/B compare this, because a lot of agents are just doing like put it up on Zillow, put a couple signs out, do an open house. And they get shit results. But in the midst of this, we had Cody, your previous assistant, an amazing agent on our team. He goes, I'm going to do a mega open house. And he said, I'm going to go all out. Even though it's a hard market, I'm going to spend money, spend time, and really put my best foot forward. So that way I don't have to have conversations down the line of be like, well, I did one open house and 2 people showed up. And so I want to share that process today. Kyle, before we break into it, I know because you'll remember it, what were his stats? What were Cody's stats for people that came through?
Oh, man. I think over the Saturday and Sunday, he had north of 80 groups come through. 80 groups. So that's, 150 plus people minimum coming through an open house. Like, that's crazy. In this market where it's hard to find buyers, get 80 groups through a house in 2 days is unheard of. So it works.
And he had multiple offers the first weekend.
Multiple offers, well over full price. I mean, he executed the strategy to a T. Yeah. So we'll jump into it today. Welcome to the Whissel Way podcast. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with eXp Realty in San Diego.
And I'm Bryan, Koci.
The goal of the show is to give you the tools, techniques, and tactics to go out there and crush it in your market. The way that we like to do that is to answer the questions that you have for us. So if you ever have a question, you want to have us answer it on the show, you can always go to thewhisselway.com. Ask us questions on there, subscribe to the podcast and YouTube channel, join our private Facebook group and email newsletter. We'll deliver some tips and tricks to you. And if you want to level up your content creation game, you can always do that. Audio, video, social, the whole 9, everything Bryan and I have learned over the last 10 years of creating content together at thewhisselway.com. So let's jump in. Yeah, the mega open house is my jam. Like my first big stage talk ever. I was drinking a warm beer on stage, San Diego Convention Center, Tom Ferry Summit.
2015.
Yeah, it's 10 years ago.
Yep, like, it was my first.
I was getting turned on stage. I had like the red wool jacket on, like, woo. It was a vibe.
Yeah. You probably wore like dark pants, so if you pissed yourself.
That's always been my jam. Always wear, if you guys are scared to speak publicly, wear black pants just in case you like pee a little bit because you're nervous. They won't see you. That's just a little pro tip.
So, okay.
And then if you hold a beer while you're talking, it's like a vice, gives you a little something you can like clinch with your nerve, like when you're nervous. Because also when you're new to speaking on stages, you don't know what to do with your hands. But you know what to do with a beer in your hand, so that's one less problem you have to worry about.
I thought it was so if you peed yourself, you could just pour your beer on yourself. Like, oh no!
If you don't have black pants, you could do that. You could pour the beer on yourself so they don't know you peed yourself.
Okay, so I don't think step 1 is pee yourself, but I want to go through step by step by step, as detailed as we can in the next 20, 25 minutes of how do you do it? What does it look like? What does it feel like before, during, and after?
For sure. Yeah, let's jump in. So mega open house strategy is something that we've been, just fine tuning for years, literally for 10 plus years. The way that I stumbled on this, I started out with one that, we put a lot of energy and effort into. We ended up having this open house. First one, I don't know, I had like 10 or 20 groups come through, which was insane. Like that was the highest attendance I ever had. We did wine and cheese. It was a vibe. And it got to the point, I think I did it from like 5 to 7. And it was like 7:30 and people were still there hanging out drinking. And I was like, guys, the sellers are on their way back. Like, we got to go. And somebody was like, after party at my house. And I was like, oh shit. We're onto something here. Like my open house has an after party. Like we're onto something for sure. And now, that was over 10 years ago because I gave that exact talk 10 years ago. I pulled our data recently. I've listed 51 of the last 100 homes in that neighborhood. Like that's unheard of, right? Like
51% market share is okay.
You don't ever hear 51% market share. Like, that's insane. And I got 2 more in the pipeline right now.
And you haven't done anything really in that farm the last 2 or 3 years.
Other than just selling homes. And,
yeah.
I mean, obviously we do some advertising with magazines and.
But a little bit. I mean, you used to go all in. You were doing stuff almost every other week there, and you've stopped for the last 3 years, and literally get a come list me call.
Yeah.
So how do we do it?
Yeah. So now play around. Like, the timing of this is not like rigid, right? It's more about these are all the activities that happen. You're going to fit those into like your schedule, your process, all of that stuff. But these are all the things that we like to do around the mega open house. Understanding that it's really 2. There's the mega for the neighbors, right? My goal is to do one on a Friday night, follow it up on a Saturday afternoon for the public. So I want to get as many neighbors as I can. Everything, like, we look at it like launching.
Stupid, Kyle.
Yeah, it's
Why
terrible.
Neighbors
I know.
Stupid.
Oh man. So we'll talk about this. We look at launching a property onto the market like Hollywood looks at launching a movie onto the market. So one of the biggest movies coming out this year is Wicked. There's Wicked 2's coming out this year. It has a name. I don't remember what it is, but it's Wicked 2. And that movie's coming out November 21st. I know the date that it's coming out because I've been on the marketing and my kid loves freaking Wicked. So she sees the marketing and makes sure to tell me about it. But like, they already know when they're going to launch that, and they're already prepping, right? They're already building some buzz and everything around that launch date for that movie, which also they know, they pay attention to when's the busiest movie days of the year is Thanksgiving and Christmas, like the 2 busiest movie days of the year. So guess what? They're launching it the day before Thanksgiving because they know Thanksgiving Day, people, they go watch movies. They're together with their family. What should we do today? They all go watch a movie and then they have dinner, or vice versa. They have dinner and then they go watch a movie. It's a very common thing. So it's a great time to launch a movie during Thanksgiving. Also, most people are on break. They have tons of free time. What should we do? So we like to launch our properties like Hollywood launches a movie, and there's a build up to it.
Day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's actually not Black Friday. So everything is focused, right, on the, like, movies have a release date, and they have 2, right? There's a red carpet, which is like a pre-release, get all the celebrities and get some buzz going, and then there's the public. We do the same thing, right? So the celebrities for us are the neighbors. We want to get everybody in the neighborhood into that home for a couple of reasons. One, those are called sellers. I don't call them neighbors, I call them sellers. They're going to sell those homes at some point. I want to be the person they call when they're going to sell that home. Additionally, neighbors know people who want to live in the neighborhood, right? Whether it's the best neighborhood in the world or the worst neighborhood in the world. Their friends probably make similar amounts of money and have similar interests to them and want to live near their friends. So every neighbor knows somebody who wants to live in the neighborhood. And then you also have people who are renting in the neighborhood that don't want to rent in the neighborhood anymore. And so they want to buy. And so in that particular, my farm neighborhood, I've sold 3 properties to renters. I've sold dozens of properties to friends of owners. And hell, I've even sold properties to owners who've just wanted to move up.
Yep.
And there's one actually right now that they worked all the way up to the top of the mountain, got divorced, and now they're working their way back up the mountain a second time. Like, it's crazy. So people move from smaller homes to larger homes, right? Or downsize from large homes to single story homes. So there's a lot of moving around that happens too. So I want to get all those neighbors in there. And then just like Hollywood gets the celebrities in there, it gets some buzz going, right? Now those neighbors, they all become part of my sales army and they go tell people about the property. Hopefully they're friends, right? So we get them in there, we get some buzz going, they tell people about it, and then we follow up with the one on on Saturday, that's public, and now they can tell all their friends, hey, I went by last night, this could be a great fit for you guys, need to come by, it's open tomorrow 1 to 4, call Kyle. And
so we found that works great, especially in the summer months. After work, it's still light out, cool. Yep. But also, like you said, timing can be fluid. Yeah. We've done it where it's the private in the morning and then the public follow right after. Yeah, so in the summer months, the Friday night works great and then Saturday afternoon public. Or if it's winter months where it's dark at 5 o'clock, then we'll go early morning, like 10 to 12 neighbors, and we'll have like a morning theme, coffee, donuts kind of vibe, mimosas.
And then we'll flip over to public in the afternoon and just do it all in the same day.
All right, so that's the layout. How do we get the neighbors to show up?
Yeah, so how do we get people to show up? So this is where you kind of have like a omni-channel campaign. You want to be everywhere. So one of my favorite things about doing open houses is it gives me an excuse to mail things to people. It gives me an excuse to call people. It gives me an excuse to knock on people's doors. It gives me an excuse to do all of these things. So first thing that we like to do is to shoot photos of the home and video of the home. Like that obviously happens first, so we can create some content around it. We can get that out on social. We can send that out to people that we have in our database and whatnot. Obviously, does Clear Cooperation exist right now? That's a whole nother podcast. So if you're with Compass, who cares, right? Like you do whatever you want. That's the mindset over there.
I would say let's and pause, and now let's move forward.
I'm not going to get in the middle of that debate.
But just tell me what you think. Anyways, I'm not going to get in the middle of the debate. Let me just drop a nugget here or there.
It all starts with getting content, getting photos, getting videos, all of that stuff, so you can start to disseminate that content out to people. Then we're going to take the imagery that we created. We're going to put that into an actual physical mail piece. Think high-end like wedding invitation type of thing. If you guys want a copy, I always regret saying this because I'm going to send this to 1 million people. But if you want this, I could do it with ManyChat, huh? So in my DMs, if they use a particular word.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't used it, but
try this. Hopefully this works. So if you want a copy of the actual invitation that we use for our mega open house, DM me the word invitation. DM me the word invitation, and hopefully ManyChat will automatically send it to you. Invitation. So high-end wedding invitation. Now it depends on the size of the area that the home is in. If it's in a subdivision, whatever, we're mailing at least 250 mailers, sometimes 500, sometimes 1,000. I'd go higher if it was, $10 million property. But I want to invite everybody in the neighborhood to come in. So first thing we do is send the mail piece. Then the next thing I like to do is go door knock them. And now the social content's running, right? We've emailed that out. It's out on social. So they're seeing it on social. They're getting something in the mailbox. Then we're coming and knocking the door. So when we knock the door, it'll be like, hey, it's Kyle. I want to follow up. Make sure you got the invitation to the event that we're doing this weekend. So we door knock. Then we call. And I like to call after mailing and door knocking because hopefully at this point, they got something in their mailbox. They've seen it on social. And when I door knock, I was able to drop something off if I didn't speak to them. So now they got something at their doorstep. So then I get to call them. We circle prospect. We use a company called Cole, C-O-L-E, Cole Realty Resource. And I think I have a discount with them. So just DM me for that. I'll hook you up if you want a discount with Cole. And then with Cole, you can put a pin on a map, draw a circle around it, or draw boundaries around a property and pull in the names, phone numbers, email addresses, and everything for anybody that lives near that home. So we circle prospect all of those people as well. And then if you have access to the local Nextdoor group or the local Facebook group, you want to put postings up in there. I found on the Nextdoor app, or the Karen app as I like to call it, if you post it as a realtor, people get pissed off. So what I do is I give the seller what I want them to post. Or I just ask them if they'll give me their login and post it for them. And post it from the homeowner perspective, because people are Karens on the Karen app, aka Nextdoor. So I post it from the consumer perspective. It's like, hey, our realtor Kyle Whissel's doing a party at our house on Friday. There's gonna be wine and cheese. Just want to invite all you guys to come by. If you have any questions, here's his number, right? And like with an invitation. So, right, you're in the mailbox, you're in the social feed, you're at the front door, you're on Nextdoor, you're on Facebook, you're calling them, like you're freaking everywhere.
Now, the whole time that you're doing this, and I don't want to get into any, but we have it coming soon, right? The listing's coming soon, so it's on the MLS so people can see it. Yeah. There's a sign in the yard. And let me tell you, man, that matters. My next door neighbor, like across the street, has a for sale sign in the yard, and I'm like looking up. I'm like, is there photos yet? I want to see, and it's coming soon. And I'm like,
curiosity is crazy.
Man, I can't wait to go see it. Yeah. And my wife was like, it goes live on the 15th, and I was like,
it's before you.
Oh yeah. So this stuff works. Yeah. So, and just having the sign. Now, if they do all this other stuff, and I get a flyer, and I can see the photos, like that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's the first time in my neighborhood that something's happened like this, that I can see, and I'm like, oh, this is this is an effect. It's doing something.
Yep. So yeah, then we have the actual event, and we typically have food, we have drinks. Obviously, go by whatever your brokerage allows, your state allows. Like, I'm not taking any of that liability on, so check with all of them first, figure out what you're allowed to do in your area. And food and drinks is great because it's more attractive. It gets more people to show up to something. And once they show up, they tend to stay longer because they're having food and they're enjoying a beverage. We typically have a minimum of 2, ideally 3 people working these open houses because you get higher attendance. So
Wait, real quick with the food. We've done everything from pizza to like, what else have you done?
We've done beer and wings. We've done beer and wings, pizza and beer. We've done sushi and sake. We've done Mary's Donuts and Mimosas. We've done coffee and crepes, baklava and Blue Label. We really did. You know your audience, right? Like, we've done a little bit of wine and cheese is like the easy go-to. Like, that's where it started. And if that's just an easy one, you go buy a cheese platter and, a few different bottles of wine.
Cool.
So we've done all kinds of stuff. But food and drinks draws more people in. 3 people ideally working, 1 person working the door, 2 people working inside. Typically for us, we're a big team, 100+ agents. Whoever's working the door is usually a newer agent, just kind of wants to see how this whole thing goes, wants to be able to eavesdrop on the conversations and all that. So they're checking people in. If you're using Ylopo, use their open house tool. If you're using Bold Trail, use their open house app. Like, whatever CRM you're using, use an app, not paper. Couple of reasons for that. One, liability and legality. Like, if you're just having them sign in on paper, you don't actually have consent to follow up with them after. So if you're using these app-based ones, they do get that consent. And then 2, when they sign in on an iPad or on a tablet, it automatically pushes them into your CRM. And then if you have a CRM like Ylopo, it's automatically going to start nurturing the lead with properties and branding and all of that stuff. So that's a lot of benefit versus your piece of paper that people chicken scratched on. You don't have consent to follow up with them. Maybe you'll get around to putting them in the CRM. Maybe you'll set up a search for them. Like, this is so stupid to put it on paper. So use the apps so that all the CRM can do its job for you. We always have music, sometimes live music, sometimes just, Spotify. Play the music that's appropriate for the neighborhood. Always clean music, never foul language. So whether that's the clean country playlist or the clean rock playlist or the clean alternative playlist, clean hip hop playlist, like, play whatever's right for your market. You know your market.
Kids.
There's that DJ now that does like techno for babies. He was just in San Diego.
That guy's awesome.
It's weird.
Wheels on the bus.
Yeah.
It's dope. Okay, so when you do that, you obviously called, emailed, or you did all this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you also, I know you're a big fan of signs. Do you do 1,000 signs?
So the neighbors open house, we typically only sign inside the boundaries of where we've invited because, again, know your state laws, but some states the event has to be private invitation only event if you're going to have alcohol. So, right, I don't want to draw people in outside of those boundaries that weren't invited. So
I like how you did that so the podcast people couldn't see you wink, but it's also on YouTube. No, I do remember we were doing
public. I'm going 50 to 100 signs. Okay. Like, if I'm going to go sit at a house for 3 or 4 hours, I want every freaking person in the town to know I'm doing an open house. Whether they come to my open house or not, I want them to know I'm doing an open house. So we go hard. If y'all are doing an open house and you put up like a handful of signs, you're not doing it right. Like, there's no point. I would not waste my time sitting at a house for 3 hours if I didn't put up at least 25 signs.
So you've got the open house, you're doing it, you've got 3 people there, you're getting people signed in, they're automatically going into your CRM. You're just having conversations with people, you're building relationships, right?
Building relationships. If I get the opportunity, if I'm engaged with somebody, I'm setting an appointment right there on the spot. Like, I'm literally I am having them walk out of the house with it in their calendar. We're not just like, all right, cool, I'll follow up with you on Monday. Like, why am I going to follow up on Monday? I already have you. You're right in front of my face right now. I don't care about Monday. Like, we're already here talking. Let's set the appointment. I will put it in the calendar right then and there.
So a lot of people hate nosy neighbors because they already live there. Yeah, not the neighbors, the agents. What kind of things? You're obviously not using the normal open house script. How long have you been looking? Is this your first open house? You don't say any of that shit.
Well, definitely don't say, so what do you think?
They'll tell you.
Oh, it's my pet peeve. Like, if that's your close, you're not a salesperson.
So what are some lines or what are some conversation directions you take? How long you've been in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a seller, it's like, yeah, how long have you lived in the neighborhood? What's your favorite part about living here? You know, have you ever had any thoughts of making a move? If you did make a move, where would you move to? What would take you there? When would you like to be there? That type of stuff. Buyer, I'm just asking discovery questions. How'd you find out about the open house? Great. Do you guys live in the area? Do you own or rent? Like, we're just going down. LP Mama, basically, if it's a buyer that's coming in.
So the open house ends at, let's say this example, 7:00.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you take down the signs? Do you take a break for the weekend?
So I usually pull the sign. So while we're setting up inside the house, we will run all the signs in the neighborhood, but we don't put the signs up in front of the house until we're ready. So once that means music's on, food's set up, lights are on, air conditioning's on, tablets ready, that's when we put the signs in front of the house, which is kind of like, all right, we're open. When we're done, we take the signs down in front of the house, clean up, and then I like to shoot videos before I leave the house, because if I wait till the next day, I'm gonna forget. So I like to shoot videos before I leave. I usually try to do them in the kitchen, because that's usually where the food was, where we had conversation. So it's just a visual connection point. And so just depending on how many people came through. If I had 5 people come through, I'm shooting 5 personalized videos. If I had 50 people come through, I'm shooting 1 generic video. So then it would just be like, hey, it's Kyle. Just want to send a quick video. It was great seeing you at the open house. Really appreciate you coming by. Want to follow up with you. If you live in the neighborhood and you want to get a free valuation on what your home could sell for in today's market, or if you're thinking about moving in the neighborhood, love to give you a free consultation and learn a little bit more about exactly what you're looking for. Call me or text me at the number down below. Right. And so I'm just doing a quick video and sending that out to everybody.
And you can actually do that. We use Follow Up Boss. You can do that straight from Follow Up Boss, which is great.
Use some video inside Follow Up Boss now.
What do you communicate with the seller?
Yeah, and then my other thing before I leave, not only do I like to do the video before I leave, but I send the feedback to the seller. Because if you guys don't know, you've never gone through this process before, the sellers are sitting on pins and needles. They want to know how it went. So give them what they want, right? Give them a report as quick as possible. If you're holding a house open for somebody else, give the listing agent the report as quick as possible. How many people came through? Positives, negatives, any potential offers, and any recommendations on things to do to improve the way the house shows. Like number of people, positives, negatives, any potential offers, and any improvements they can make to make the house more attractive.
And then last question before we end. Do you do that in a phone call? Do you do that in an email?
It depends, right? If I'm holding somebody else's house open, I'm going to text it over to the listing agent. A lot of times when I'm doing these twilight open houses, the seller's coming home, so it's more of a conversation with them. But typically I'm just texting that information over to them.
Yeah.
If they've requested a phone call or whatever, then we'll have that. But I'm usually because it's a lot of data points and stuff. So it's typically a text message.
So we do all that. You can expect much better results than putting it on Zillow and putting 3 signs out.
Yeah. And we don't typically put the neighborhood open house on Zillow because, again, we want to keep it private to comply. So we only put the public one on all the websites and stuff like that because I really want to try to keep it neighbors. And it becomes like the more of them you do, like I'm going to do another one here in a few weeks, like I'll probably have 100 people come through because it's a thing in the neighborhood now. What's funny is like I do a wine and cheese one. There's guys that'll like roll in with a beer in their hand. Or I've done like a pizza and beer one and I've had somebody roll in with a bottle of wine in their hand. Like it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it gets to be what you're known for.
Yeah.
And so I had one thing else, but I forgot it. And
it's okay. Well,
whatever.
If we forgot anything and you want to reach out to Bryan and I, just send us a DM on Instagram. I'm at Kyle Whissel, at Bryan Koci. And if you enjoyed the show today, guys, if you are listening on a podcast platform, make sure to hit subscribe and write a quick little review, your biggest takeaway from today. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button, let YouTube know you enjoyed the show. If you got a question, throw it in the comment section. If you want more of our content, hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell. With that said, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Whissel Way podcast. We'll see you next time.